I let my sister stay in my house for 5 days, and she tried to take it over. The first thing I noticed was the new lock on my bedroom door. I stood in the hallway staring at it, trying to figure out if I was actually looking at my own house. Then Sarah walked out of the kitchen carrying a mug of coffee. "Oh, I changed that," she said. I looked at her. "You changed my bedroom lock?" She took a sip. "I needed some privacy. You've been here 3 days." And I stared at the lock again. 3 days earlier, Sarah had shown up with 2 suitcases and a simple request. Her apartment wasn't ready yet, and she needed somewhere to stay until Friday. I told her she could use the guest room. I never imagined I'd be standing outside my own bedroom, wondering why my sister had decided to install a new lock. "Take it off," I said. She frowned. "Why are you making this into a thing?" "Because it's my bedroom." She rolled her eyes and walked back toward the kitchen. "I'll deal with it later." That was the first time I realized she wasn't treating my house like a place she was staying. She was treating it like a place she had moved into. The next morning, I found my kitchen completely rearranged. The plates were in a different cabinet. My coffee maker had been moved across the counter. Even the silverware drawer had been reorganized. I stood there holding a spoon. "Sarah? Yeah? Did you move everything?" She looked up from her phone. "It was inefficient. You could have asked." "You would have said no." I didn't answer. That afternoon, she texted me while I was at work. "I'm having some people over tonight." I called her. "How many people?" "Just a few." "Sarah, 4 or 5. When I got home, there were 8 people in my living room. Someone was sitting in my office chair. 2 people were eating on the couch. Music was playing from my television." Sarah walked over with a smile. "Surprise." I looked around. "This is my house." "I know. You said 4 or 5. She shrugged. "People brought people." I picked up an empty bottle from the coffee table. "Everyone needs to leave." Her smile disappeared. "You're serious?" "Yes." Her friends slowly started grabbing their things. After they left, Sarah stood in the kitchen with her arms crossed. "You're acting completely different." "No, I'm acting like the person who owns the house." She shook her head. "You're so controlling." I didn't argue. The next day, I came home and found several family photos missing from the hallway. I found them stacked inside a closet. "Why are these here?" They made the hallway look cluttered. I picked up a photo of my parents. "Put them back. They're old." "Put them back." She stared at me for a few seconds, then walked away. That night, I checked my security camera app. Sarah had spent nearly an hour showing 2 of her friends around the house. "This could be my room," one of them joked. Sarah laughed. "Honestly, I might use the office too." I stopped the recording. The next morning, I told her she needed to leave. She stared at me like I'd slapped her. "You're kicking me out?" "You were supposed to stay until Friday." "I am staying until Friday." "No." She called Mom immediately. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. "What's wrong with you?" Mom asked. "Nothing." "Sarah says you're throwing her out." "She changed my bedroom lock." "She needed privacy." "She had a guest room." Mom went quiet. Then she said, "She's your sister." "I know. She doesn't have anywhere else to go. She has an apartment. She just can't move in until Friday." Mom sighed. "Where is she supposed to stay?" "With you." Another silence. Mom finally said, "You're really doing this?" "Yes." Sarah packed while Mom stayed on speakerphone. She slammed drawers, threw clothes into bags, and complained loudly enough for me to hear every word. When she reached the front door, she turned around. "You're going to regret treating me like this." I didn't respond. After she left, I called a locksmith. I changed every lock. Then I reset the garage code, removed her access from the security system, and checked every room. The house looked exactly the way it had before she arrived, except for one thing. The new bedroom lock she'd installed was sitting in a box on my kitchen counter. I kept it, not because I wanted it, because it was a pretty good reminder of how quickly 5 days can turn into someone thinking they own your life. Sarah texted me 2 days later. "Can I come get the rest of my stuff?" I replied, "Saturday at 10. She arrived at 10:20. Her boxes were already sitting on the porch. She looked at them, then at me. "You packed everything?" "Everything you left." She picked up a box. Then she looked at the new keypad on my front door. "You changed the locks?" "Every one." She nodded slowly. For once, she didn't have anything to say. She carried the last box to her car. I closed the door behind her and locked it. This time, I was the one holding